What we're now going to do is to calculate the median. We're going to use a formula. Alright, so we're going to use the median formula for grouped interval data. Alright, and first of all, this will look very new. So the assumption is that we do not have the individual data, so we can't sort them all and find the middlemost numbers. So what we need is a formula that will sort of estimate where the middle number would be. So the median will be, and I'll define these items in a little bit, L plus little I, parentheses, n divided by 2 minus capital F divided by little f. Alright, when we're going to define these things, I'm going to talk about the median class. So the median class, or interval, is the interval that contains the median. L is the lower limit of that class, so it's the lower limit of the median class. Little I is the width of the median class. And as always is the sample size, number of items in the group. Capital F is the frequency, cumulative frequency up to the median class. Alright. Make sure that we all understand this is a cumulative frequency. And little f is the frequency of the median class. Alright, so let's show how this is done. Let's go back and look at our table. And what I'm going to do is to rewrite the table. Alright, so I'm going to pause the recording for a while and write up the basic table. Alright, so here's our basic frequency distribution for the dataset 1G. What we're then going to do to help us is to have a column for the cumulative frequency, capital F, and so this will tell us how many items below the upper limit for that class. Alright, so how many items are there in the dataset less or equal to 10? Well, there are 4. How many items are there in the dataset less than 20? Well, those are the 8 in this class plus the 4 in the original. Alright, so that's 12. How many items are there in the dataset below 30? Well, you add up 4, 8, and 5, or 5 and 12 is 17. How many items are there less in the dataset less than 40? You add the 4, 8, 5, and 4, or in other words, 17 and 4 is 21, etc. Alright, and when you're finished with the cumulative frequency, it must equal the summation of the F's. In this case, we had 24 data points. Alright, so we have to identify the median item. Is the n divided by 2 item. We don't worry in this case whether The data set is either even or odd. Okay, so in this case it's even, so it makes sense, but it doesn't have to be. So the median item or is the 12th item. Alright, so we're going to go through this table and look for the 12th item. Alright, so there are 4 items, alright, below 10. Well, the 12th item's not there. We have 12 items below, somewhere below 20. Alright, there's the 12th item. Alright, so the 12th item wasn't in the first group, but it's in the second group. Alright, so when you come up to or bypass the median item with your cumulative frequency, then you have found your median class. Alright, in this case that means that the 12th item is between, or within, is a better way of saying that, this interval 10 through less than 20. Alright, so the lower limit of this class is 10. I is the width of the median class, or these classes all have the same width, 10. Alright, from 10 to 20 is 10 units wide. What do we need now? N, the number of items, well, the 24 items in the group, sample. Cumulative frequency up to the median class. Alright, how many items are there below the median class? Well, there are 4 items below the median class, and then little f, the number of items in the median class. The number of items in the median class is 8. Alright, and with that we can do our calculations. Alright, so let me put those numbers down on this page. Lower limit 10. The width also 10. Number of items 24. Cumulative frequency up to the median class was 4. And number of items in the median class, little f, is equal to 8. Alright, so now let's write down our formula for the median. L plus I n on 2 minus f, that's capital F divided by little f. Alright, so L is 10 plus I of 10, n on 2 is 24 divided by 2 minus capital F of 4 divided by little f of 8. Alright, so that's and hopefully you can all see that that is equal to 20. So the median, or our estimate of the median from this interval data, is equal to 20. Right? So our estimate is that half the items in this data set are above 20 and half of them are below 20. Alright, what we're going to do now is to do this for another data set. Actually, I'm going to write out a data set, and hopefully you guys will pause the movie and try this yourself. So we'll call this data set 1H. And if you can think of these as interest rate on current mortgages by household owners. Interest And let's say that you wanted to find out what the average is, and maybe you'd want to target these people for refinancing. Alright, 4.2, 50, 75, 70, 90, 98, 95, 92, 74, 65, 70, 80, 12.5, 10, 3, 6.0, 11.7, 8.5, 4.5, 8.3, 8.5. Last row 6.5, 7.5, 5.5, 7.1, and 11.5. Alright, several things I want you to do. First, create appropriate intervals. Of course, there's not just one answer here, there's several answers that will work. And create a frequency distribution. Alright, that's in other words, intervals and the number of items in each of those intervals. Then I want you from that distribution to calculate the average, variance, and standard deviation. And the median from this frequency distribution. Okay, at this point I'd hope that you would pause the movie and do those things and then come back and see what my answer would look like. Our answers don't need to look the same because we could choose different intervals, but our answers should look reasonably close.